And because Operation Sindoor has become a textbook example of the art of war, precise, swift and decisive. While Ukraine's war drags on for over 4 years in a brutal stalemate, and even Trump has struggled to quickly end the US-Iran conflict, India achieved its military objectives in just 22 minutes of strikes, followed by complete dominance that forced Pakistan to beg for a ceasefire. With clear war aims, calibrated escalation and total control of the operation, India delivered a punishment to terror infrastructure without getting dragged into a prolonged conflict. This remains the unspoken win for India. Operation Sindoor is nothing less than a masterclass in modern limited warfare that the world is quietly now studying. Let's in fact discuss this with former Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament Priyanka Chaturvedi, who is joining us. Well, thanks very much, Ms. Chaturvedi, for joining me in this very important conversation on the 1 year of Operation Sindoor. Firstly, I'd like to ask you, is water now India's new red line against Pakistan-sponsored terror, just like surgical strikes became after Uri?
No, absolutely. There were certain red lines that India drew, and India sent that message across the world that India is not going to tolerate any kind of terrorism emanating out of Pakistan. In fact, as part of the delegation of Operation Sindoor, our message was very clear that the world needs to call out the terrorism emanating out of Pakistan. India is not the only country suffering because of this, but by the virtue of being, in neighborhood and in contest for so many years, we have been facing their terrorism, but their terrorism has impacted globally. We have seen how Osama bin Laden was ultimately found in Pakistan in Abbottabad, and after a secret operation, US was able to kill him. So this is the kind of terrorism that Pakistan has been spreading across the world, and it is important that the extremism that comes from there, the terrorism training that comes from there, the arms, the ammunition that comes from Pakistan stood exposed after what we carried out, and we will continue to call out Pakistan and its nefarious activities and its entire policy, which is focused in and around India and trying to destabilize the economy. So we have dehyphenated ourselves from Pakistan, but at the same time have set some certain red lines which we are bound to follow, and we're very sure that we will not continue to tolerate what comes out of Pakistan and expose them globally.
Yes, absolutely. And 1 year after Pahalgam, do you believe holding the Indus Water Treaty in abeyance has brought us closer to a terror-free Kashmir?
As far as Kashmir is concerned, I would also want to see what really led to this entire terrorism attack. Why was there an intelligence failure, and if there has been some accountability from within? I think it is also very important that while we teach Pakistan a lesson, we also learn our own lessons on where did we fail, and what was the mechanism which
Yes.
kind of we need to foolproof against any such further terrorist activities. However, what we started to achieve globally was to expose Pakistan to the world, also to ensure that those red lines are not crossed, and whether it is the Indus Water Treaty, no trade with terror, no talk with terror, are important narratives to be set across and important red lines that need to be set. I would have just been happier if they would have included even no cricket or sports with a country which aids terrorism and abets terrorism. But that, unfortunately, we saw a sports policy come out yesterday, which has given a go-ahead for world tournaments playing against Pakistan.
Yes.
But this would have been something that I expect. But I'm hoping that in times to come, we would see limited scope of any kind of Pakistan intervention, whether from a northern flank, eastern flank, or western flank.
How have you been watching the global perception for India's defense capabilities change, especially following Operation Sindoor? You've also been a part of the delegations that have gone abroad to send out this message of the cross-border terrorism that Pakistan continues to sponsor in India.
Absolutely. This was first of its kind delegation that went, and I would say first of its kind delegation globally that went out at such a massive scale to spread out the message of what India did and what were India's actions, why we were compelled to take those actions, what we have done, what we have achieved, and why the world needs to call out Pakistan.
Yes.
And I would say that there is a conscious understanding amongst various countries, various nations, but by the virtue of the interconnectedness of the world and interconnectedness of trade, as well as the geography in which Pakistan exists, leads to reasons why some countries continue to engage with Pakistan. We are seeing that as far as the Iran-US engagement is concerned. But
Yes.
that is also something where we would need to expose them. For example, when US post the Twin Tower attack, US went against Afghanistan and they were going after Osama bin Laden. Pakistan said that they would be their true ally and they would end the scourge of terrorism coming out of Afghanistan. It was Osama bin Laden who was found getting shelter by Pakistan, the Pakistani army.
Yeah.
So, the dual speak needs to be exposed, and countries need to be reminded that every time they have looked at Pakistan for finding solutions, they have only been cheated and they have only been lied to.
I've unmuted. Okay.
Right. Ms.
Is that
Chaturvedi,
okay?
finally, I also want to ask you, what do you view of India's policy shift in countering terrorism and combating terrorism, earlier from strategic restraint, now to decisive, coercive action? Do you think it was time for India to take this aggressive stance?
No, I think it was, as far as India is concerned, we've had a very consistent policy vis-a-vis Pakistan. We've gone to war with Pakistan and we've shown them their correct place in terms of the earlier Mumbai blasts that happened, and we exposed them through documents and through evidence that Pakistan stands for nefarious activities. They stand for terrorism. They export terrorism. They train terrorists and they arm terrorists. They fund terrorists, and that was by the virtue of this we got so many of those people who were involved in the 26/11 terror blast to return back to India. Extradition from the US is next to impossible, and that too of American citizen like Tahabud Rana. He returned back to India. Of course, it was a long legal struggle that we managed to bring him back, but we did that. We also ensured that Kassab, by the virtue of him being caught alive, also spilled the beans on what Pakistan's role was. So consistently we have been doing that. But in this particular case, with regards to the Indus Water Treaty, putting it in abeyance and also not sharing waters and telling Pakistan that there's going to be a cost to pay for the terrorism that you have carried out in our territory is something we will not tolerate was important. But let's not forget that post that there were also the Delhi blasts that happened, which showed links going right up to Pakistan. So we need to foolproof ourselves. We need to work strong on this rather than patting ourselves on the back while we have reasons to believe that we have exposed them. But instead of patting ourselves on the back, we need to continue to be alert with regards to Pakistan and understand that their sole reason for existence and for them to get the cooperation that they're getting from the citizens of that country is their war against India, the jihad against India, which we have to keep fighting and being aware of and be alert about.
Right, Ms. Chaturvedi, with that, I'll let you go. Thank you very much for joining us and speaking to us here on NewsX on the occasion of 1 year of Operation Sindoor.